Okay, on this video, I'll be teaching you how you can add story block. Though I have made a video on this channel, but I'm still going to update you people with another video on how to edit your videos with story block. The first thing you need to do is to have a list of story blocks. I already have many. I have many folders for story blocks. You can see these are three different folders with story blocks. Okay, and there's something that I've done, very unique thing that I've done. I've created some story blocks that I normally make use of them, and I'm going to give you an example of some story blocks that I've created. Okay, for example, just locate your story blocks first. Okay, let's say these are the story blocks you want to use. So to avoid coming over and over, you can just bring some story blocks. Okay, bring some story blocks to your CapCut and bring them to this timeline. When you bring them to this timeline, you see these are your story blocks. They're not playing like this. So if you like, you can save this story block. This is like a 7 minutes. If you like, you can bring others. So you can compile story blocks like this and save them. Okay, like this one, for example, I can just save this story block. After I save it, now let me give you examples of those that I've already saved, because this one may take time before it loads. Let me give you an example of story blocks that I've already saved, and you will see how they look like. This list of story blocks that I'm having. Like for example, these ones. Okay, I guess this are the story blocks that I'm having here. Yes, these are the story blocks that I'm having. Click enter. You see, like for example, this one, I've already made this story block. You see, this one is long. This one is almost 6 minutes. So all I need to do, if I'm editing a video, I can just bring that story block that is long and just spread it. Okay, I've already compiled a good number of them, and you can see them. This is also a story block that I've created. It's long, almost 13 minutes. But then don't be confused with all these things that I'm trying to show you. Now to edit your video with Storyblocks, first of all, you need to import the video. For example, this is my video that is here. Then if you want to spread the story blocks on them, locate the story blocks. As for me, I have my story blocks somewhere here. These are story blocks that have to do with marriage. These are story blocks that have to do with mountains. So I can just highlight all. These are 38 items. Highlight all and bring them. I can now spread them all. But then you can see they are very few, because this video is almost 1 hour long. So let me just, okay, you can decide to still bring those you've brought earlier. You can still bring them again inside CapCut and add them here, and also add on the existing ones. You don't have to do it one after the other. Okay, just be bringing them in group. You can also bring them. You can just bring them and add. Make sure they tally to avoid creating any space in between. So you can be doing that. You can be doing all of that. And after that, let's cut this video so that it will tally with what we want. Okay. So this is now your video with story block.
To receive the blessing, I pray for you in the name that is above.
So the face of the person talking has been covered with story block, and this is to avoid the issue of reuse content. Okay, so after doing that, you can now click on export and export your story blocks. But then to go in advance, let me show you other few things that I normally used to do. Let me close this, and let me tell you the way I do my own full editing with Storyblok. Let me tell you how I do my full editing with Storyblok. Let me bring my video. This is my video. Let me make it like 10 minutes or 17 minutes or thereabout. Okay, I already have some Storyblocks, just like I've told you earlier, that I've already compiled. Okay, these are my Storyblocks that I've already worked on. Okay, you can now bring them. And now, I've already worked on these Storyblocks. This is 17 minutes video. So now you can, this is how I normally use to overlap those story blocks. This is a story block on its own. Okay, I can just reduce it something like this. I can just reduce it something like this. I just want it to be more stylish. And instead of using few story blocks, I want to use a good number of story blocks. Okay. And this is it. You can bring this here. You can bring this here. Okay, no, I've used this one earlier. Let me bring which one? I think I have more than this. Let me add. I think I have others as well. I have others. These ones are also study blocks. I can bring them. Yes, I've not brought this one earlier. I can bring them. So these are my story blocks. I want it to be in a very, very stylish way. Instead of using anyhow story block that almost everybody is using. So I can now bring this story block here and spread it across. Okay, I can duplicate it to be like this. Okay, then cut it. Now I can now reduce the opacity of this by clicking on blend. Reduce the opacity. Reduce the opacity. Originally, this is how the story blocks are. This one that I brought lastly, it is very, very thick. So I want it to be thin so that it will be stylish. So let me do it like this. At least you see.
Lay your hand.
So that the story block I brought last and the remaining ones, these ones, the whole thing will now look stylish. Okay, take a look at this one, for example.
To receive the blessing, I pray for you in the name that is above all names. Doors open.
So instead of leaving this story block where it is like this, I included this one
Koinonia,
so that
receive
it
it.
will be
Doors
more
open.
stylish. If you like, you can increase the opacity. Okay, take a look at this one also.
Enjoy good news. This that you can move to another season of your life. I decree and declare, let that grace rest on you. Yeah, aided, high blood pressure be.
So that is that. Then another thing to do is to import your subscribe button. You bring in your subscribe button. I've already downloaded it. This is the subscribe button. You can bring it. After you bring it, are you okay? Let me increase it like this. You come here.
To receive.
Yes, you now remove the background. Click on Chrome. Touch it once. Then you now reduce it and trim it somewhere like this. Then remove the volume. Where do I remove the volume?
The blessing.
Remove basic.
I pray for you in the name.
Yes, then you're good to go. I think with this editing, then you can now bring some pictures of men of God. I mean, the people you want to use, do your own texting and all of that. So thank you all. That is that about the usage of Storyblock.